It's Mike Dino. I have the honor of being the treasurer for Lucia. I really appreciate that honor. I've been asked to do a lot of things in my tenure in the political world, usually to run campaigns or donate money. And when Lucia called me to be treasurer, this was the first time I was ever asked to be a treasurer, and I was very honored. So thank you, Lucia, for letting me have this opportunity. On education, she really impressed me when she fought for North High School, and it was a tough thing to do. There may be some people in this room who didn't agree. There's certainly a lot of people I see who did. But it was a tough thing because it was divisive. But she stood up and took a stand. And that was very important. She knows how it is to run a business when she ran her own coffee shop. And we have a lot of wonderful elected officials, but a lot of them don't have that experience in having run a business. And so she's done that, and we need that. And certainly what she does now in human rights and community relations at the City and County of Denver, she knows what it takes to work with a lot of us who aren't getting any younger, as well as working with diverse folks around the community and being able to bring people together. I want to take the time now to introduce a person who knows how to win, and I think it is just spectacular that she's come out to support Lucia, and that's again our very own State Senator Palo Santo.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's great to see such a wonderful turnout tonight. You know, sometimes you think that the incumbent would probably stay neutral in a race, and I actually thought about that too, because I knew that there would be even colleagues of mine in the State House running for this Senate seat. But as soon as I heard that Lucia Guzman was going to run, there was just no question in my mind as to who I would support to be the next senator of Senate District 34.
Our RTD representative again, and a wonderful person in our community who's been a great pillar of our community and a huge supporter of a lot of causes throughout not only North Denver but throughout Denver, Juanita Chacon.
Having lunch and I ran into Luis's father. Luis and his father visited Lucia's coffee shop. And this is so funny. He said, Lucia. That's all he said was one word to me. And I started to think about this, is that we have our own share and our own Bono right here in District 34. You don't have to say the last name. All you have to do is say Lucia, and everyone knows who you're talking about. We continue to want to support high-quality individuals who are going to represent us and give us the kind of results, which, of course, Lucia is a very result-oriented person. She looked for solutions in Denver Public Schools, not just at North, not only Anna Marie Santo, but this unique school at Brown that we have now. I don't know if you know this, but only 500 in the world, and we have one in our backyard.
I also, Lucia, wanted to thank you for Anna Marie Sandoval School, because that's where my son goes, and we think that's just a wonderful school, so I failed to mention that, but thank you very much for that early part of your career.
My name is Chantal Unfug, and my husband Doug and I have lived in this district for about 8 years, and what we've seen is a district that's diverse. Look around the room. It's distinct, and it's dynamic. And I think of those words as well when I think of Lucia. And I've known Lucia for about 7 of those years as a colleague of mine while we worked for American Looper. Whether it's like a lot of families, young families here in this district, up specifically in this neighborhood, it's the issues of juggling long hours at work and juggling raising 2 little kids and what that becomes for us and volunteering in our neighborhood. Or whether it's discussing multi-million-dollar budget decisions. She's got those, and she was listening to me over these last 7 years and helping me through that. And that's one of the reasons why part of the campaign we've decided to do house conversations. Because one of Lucia's biggest skills is her ability to listen and to hear what we want and what is important to us. So I strongly am asking and recommending that each of you here think about hosting a house conversation at your own house so Lucia can meet your neighbors and hear what is important to them. We have sign-up sheets, and you can find any of our staff and volunteers to do that. Otherwise, we're just going to call you and make you do it anyway. So it's my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce, I've been practicing this line, the next senator in District 34, Lucia Guzman.
Thank you, Santo. I've got my pulpit here now, so I can just go back to preaching, therefore. And John Kennedy wrote that one is never too old or too young for public service. I was really pleased to see that when I read that. Yeah, we all are. I am running for this public office because I've always been a public servant. I've been in public service all of my life, as a pastor and clergy person, as an employee of nonprofit agencies, with my services as the director of the Colorado Council of Churches, as a community advocate, as a director of the Agency for Human Rights of the City and County of Denver, and as an elected member to the Denver School Board. I have not thought much or talked about public service. I just did it. Being elected to the Colorado State Assembly will be just another chapter in service to the public. Are we, the people, going to ignore our lands, our water, our seniors, our children? Are we compelled to find ways to restructure a state finance plan that embraces our greatest priorities and the truths we hold so dear? Because if we are, and I hope we are, we must understand that there will be some sacrifices, because we cannot continue to live today and tomorrow in the yesterdays of our lives. In our yesterdays, many of us had the ability to pay for a college education because tuition was affordable, and the institutions of higher education had sound fiscal budgets and income. In the yesterdays, many of us were able to buy a home and actually afford the mortgage because we had a job with acceptable wages, and the prices of all necessities of life, like medical care, were also affordable. In our yesterdays, some of us were even able to walk through the mountains and see the mountain streams, and with no worry of contamination, drink from those streams. We can no longer do that today. So much has changed, and our decisions and individual thoughts about who we are and what we hold to be true are now being challenged. We should be challenged, and we must accept the challenge, for the yesterdays of spending are now demanding that we find the new way to ensure today's most basic of human rights. That is, a home which is safe and adequate, an education which offers the same quality to all, a good job, health and affordable care when needed, happiness and equitable rights for all, and the rights for everyone to have the right of choice for their lives. As Coloradoans, we are part of the call of the wild, where we will be called at times to leave our contented places and follow the challenges of our courageous days ahead. For me, I am accepting the call to run the race. This is courageous for me. But the real and dignified courage will come only if we take the call of the wild and be the ones to offer life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness to all, no exceptions. Thank you.
The rest of the evening, and then let's go out and help Lucia become our next state senator.